Hello, I'm Mike,
And I'm Matt.
and this is.
That's Debatable.
And today, Matt, we're debating.
Lemonade. No, we're not lemonade. We are debating social media. I think social media in different ways. A, is it worthwhile? B, is it healthy for a person and their friends and family and surroundings and that sort of area, the dodgy area. Of course, our opinions are our own, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat about it.
Yeah, so do you think that social media is a good thing?
Yes.
Okay, and I think it's a good thing too when used in the right way. I also would say it's a very unhealthy thing.
I think it's unhealthy if you put yourself in a pressure situation. I mean that as in the way you want to look, competition with other people, feeling that everyone comments are about you when they're not, because they might have 50, 100, 200 friends on there and they're just communicating with everybody. So it is certainly unhealthy, as you say.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's something that I think it, such as Facebook, I think that is the biggest part. I know that the world is currently saying that people are suffering with anxiety and depression more than 20 years ago or 40 years ago, and I blame it on social media.
Yeah, I think let's break this down to Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. So let's do Facebook first, since we're Facebook go. It's hard to know, because as much as you say that, there's also maybe people talking about it more because of social media. It might be the opposite to what you're saying, the fact that people are able to reach out, that there's a lot more groups out there now talking about it, a lot more people talking about it, whereas where before it might have been hidden.
Yeah.
And as I say, yes, people can depress themselves if they're reading all these people having these fantastic holidays, parties, friendships when they're struggling. So that can bring you down. But nothing says you have to stop and read every one of these posts.
No, yeah. I fully agree. I think that's what happens with social media, is that it's meant to be social. So when you get on there, you're going to read other people's posts, and I think everyone shares their bad days and their good days, and that's what I think is bad about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that, again, you got to make sure your settings are right. You got to make sure your friends are right. If you want to be, as you say, friends and family, you get your settings for your friends and family. You get your friends group just as your friends and family, your old school friends, people you know or have had some sort of positive contact with. So you can share what's going on in your life.
Okay.
But if you just want to reach out to be Mr. Joe Blogs, you put it on public, and then you can say what you want.
Yeah.
But that's where the vulnerability comes into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a business, social media such as Facebook is a great platform for someone to reach out to their friends alone and speak to someone in Scotland if they're living in Sittingbourne. That's a great thing. But I also think that it brings out a lot of negativity, brings out the worst in people.
So what is that negativity?
Negativity, I think, is if you know too much about other people, then you're caring more about other people's lives than caring about your own life. Then it becomes a part of the way that you're seeking to see what other people are doing to try to better yourself, when actually you should just do what makes you happy instead of seeing what other people find happiness in. And that's what I think social media is bad for.
But can you find happiness in somebody else's happiness? You know, I would go to a party, a disco, whether it's now or whether it's when I was younger. I've always enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the social events, the music, the lights, get-togethers. Yeah. But you're not going to find me on the dance floor. I will be sitting out the back with a quiet little group, but I will enjoy seeing everyone else's happiness.
Yeah, definitely.
So why can't that be transferred to social media?
Okay, so I think, so for instance, when you're in front of someone, I think, for instance, Joe Blogs is going to be at a disco, chatting to us on a table, saying this is an amazing day because he doesn't want to be rude to us. Joe Blogs to get home on Facebook, go, that was a shit night. There was too many people there, too many of this, too many of that. And well, you could have just told us when we was there, but because it's the polite way of doing stuff, and Facebook's like, you're hidden behind a keyboard. So these people express more over a keyboard than they would in front of your face.
Definitely, I agree with that, because I'd much rather talk face to face. And I've had stuff misunderstood purely because I don't think some of those people actually know me as much as they should do, which is quite confusing in some ways. Because most people will know where I'm talking and where I'm heading on my Facebook, but same times that I can be saying about something and they can be taking like you're moaning and groaning, but you're not. Sometimes you're just saying it like you're like you are having a bad day. For instance, people can say, "Oh, they're on there again, moaning again," but maybe they're not. If it's 24/7, they're always doing it. Yeah, that I'll get that sometimes. Again, but if it's now and again, then you need to take notice. I think, not write about them or anything, but just think, again, you got points strolling past. Obviously, Facebook, you got Messenger, you got, as you say, video calling, you got to share your photos, and again, photos can say a lot. But I don't agree online. I don't believe in hiding behind it, and I don't believe in being anything you would do in front of somebody.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like I love the fact that we can share stuff on Facebook, and I love the fact that we can share our good times, but we are the minority. I think the majority will use Facebook to share everything.
Well, this video has been shared on Facebook. It helps us put the content out there, and that's the same. That's really what Facebook is. Facebook. A lot of people say, "Oh, Facebook's to blame," but Facebook is an app. It's a platform. It's how it's used. At the end of the day, you can use it for the right reason. You can use it for wrong ones. You can use it to spread lies. You can use it to spread conspiracy theories. You can use it to put down and argue with Timbuktu, your neighbours, your governments, and everything else. And at the end of the day, I think that explains more about you rather than the platform.
The thing is, I actually think when you can make a group of people that think different to what the world should be by the government standards make you should be thinking. So say the government make you want to think this way, that's why the TV's presented to you in this kind of manner. It's because the government wants you to learn this way and walk this way and
but you're just kind of saying the government controls all TV.
Well, basically, in a weird sense, I think the government do control what they want us to hear and see. That's why the news is on certain channels will say certain things, and that's where social media is a good thing, because as long as there's truth in it, and so you'll get people who are truthful and they can help, and they'll make a big group and they can go and do a protest, not a riot. So there's two different things for that.
Well, funny enough, before I was coming up here, I was thinking about saying similar to what you just said there about the media gets blamed for a lot of stuff. But obviously you've got different types of media, from the social media, your apps, right through to media on TV, newspapers. But if you take, say, your newspapers or your TV, you're going to get your reporter and then you're going to get your producer, etc. So that comes down to the decisions of the story, comes down to people.
Yeah.
Now, then you can say, oh, it's always media that does this and media does that. But sometimes they are just trying to catch the story. But when it comes down to social media is not an actual thing. It's not a live being to be blamed. It's a computer program. So again, it goes down to the people to use it.
In a sense that is true, but when you also look at the way that social media is run by the government as well, because the government oversees stuff and they'll tell Facebook what they can and can't do. And what annoys me here is I can't go on Facebook and tell people and I can't take a picture of my dog's backside and put a photo of it on Facebook. I don't really want to do that, by the way, Matt, but I can't share a photo of that on Facebook. However, if I was to take part of ISIS, I can have a Facebook group.
Yeah, I think there's always funny rulings to what if, but that's life everywhere. Again, not just Facebook, in life itself. You know, it's like people saying, "Oh, I'll talk to your face if I have a problem," but again, they go on social media and complain about you.
Yeah.
Or they want to say to you, they want to be social, but then they never communicate to you. You know, life is full of all these weird scratch head moments. You know, you can get blamed. Are you thinking? Again, social media they can sometimes say, you defend yourself, but you get blamed. You're thinking, well, hold on, if you hadn't said that in the first place, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying. And I'm the one getting the blame.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can defend yourself on social media, and other people are only picking up a little bit of the stories. So, yeah, but other people put you in awkward situations, so you can be looking bad through all your other friends, when in fact, someone else has put you in that awkward situation.
Yeah, and I think that's where it becomes a dodgy, and that's why I think it's bad.
Yeah.
So say if I went to put on Facebook, like for instance, a guy put on Facebook around a month ago, he put, "I've just donated £10 to cancer research," and some woman went, "Why are you telling us? Do you want a reward or a trophy for that?"
Do you know, I'm sorry for interrupting. That makes me one thing which I always struggle to find. Why do people like their own posts?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. No offence to anyone who does it, but I just don't get why, because you've just written that post yourself. So
yeah.
I don't get why you would like your own post. Or love heart your own post.
Yeah.
I can understand love heart your own post if you perhaps put a photo of your animal or your children or your family, something like that.
Backside, yeah.
So I can understand that, but when it's just like, "Oh, we had a great day," like, why would you like your own thing? You've already said you've had a good day. Yeah.
And that's so true, and that's kind of, people aren't allowed to have an opinion on Facebook. So what anyone says, unless you want to have a row, don't post on Facebook. That's my opinion. I think Facebook is a place.
Yeah, but that's like me not being posting this or congratulating someone as well. To say not to post on Facebook also means you're taking the goodness out of it.
Yeah, and I think there's so much. So you know, I said about the charity thing, and he got questioned why he wanted to post it on Facebook to get recognised for it when it's just a good deed to be done.
You might be just encouraging others.
Exactly, and I fully agree with that. And what I thought was bad is that you can get that, and then you'll get something like a guy got stabbed in London, and then a woman might message, "He deserved it." They don't even know each other. They don't. They're from a different town.
I'll completely get that one. Yeah.
And it's like, that's where the free speech is great, when we're in front of each other. But I guarantee you that woman who put on Facebook, "He deserved it," if there was face to face, she wouldn't have said
I completely get that, because there's a lot of times when I've seen those sort of comments and I'm thinking, yeah, you don't really know that person, you don't know understand the situation. You know, I've known people to go in hospital for certain things and someone moan about them because the situation they was under, but those people got friends, family and all the rest of it. It's kind of like a planning fishing thing that was denied recently, I won't name names. And council sort of saying, "Oh, it's okay, it's over and done with now." Actually it's not, because you still got people health because they enjoy going there. The place still needs to find homes for everything. When someone says over, it's done with, it's not. Now I've had comments, I've heard comments, other people have had comments of, "You should move on." But I don't know about you, but I can move on when I've got answers, whether I agree with that answer or not, to why things were said in the first place and why something happened in the first place. So let's move on though, I'm just saying that to Twitter.
Well, before you said, so Facebook, say if someone was to put on Facebook about you, say if you put on a post and you'll get Jenny Wright from Nottingham, sorry for swearing, Jenny so-and-so from around the block in Nottingham doesn't know you, but she's commenting on everything that you put on this group, and it's making you feel like I've got to block you.
Mm.
But you blocking her might be, so you know when you said about you'll take the good and the bad out. Well, that Jenny from across the block might be putting nice things and one bad thing, and that's her opinion.
Mm.
But you might not want an opinion.
Well, I kind of reflecting what you're saying there. I had a hip replacement, what, 3 years ago now, 2.5 years ago now.
How's it working now?
Well, that's not going to. And before all that, I've suffered for many years, and I tried to keep quiet as much as possible, not put on Facebook and everything else. And then it got to a point where you might make the odd comment because it gets worse and worse, naturally. Anyway, fast forward time, I got to the point where I was going to have the operation, and then I wish somebody else well on Saturday, I think, nothing to do with me. And then this came up regarding mine, because I sort of make it, I know what it's like, so I wish you well, blah blah blah. And I got comment of being too young, don't know, or I'm faking it, too young, and you're like, what the is this all about? Because I've never faked anything in my life. I'd rather take the bad criticism than the good if I deserve it. I've been through the pain barrier so many times on the quiet, so that's where your bad stuff is. And if that person actually knew me, they would know I do not do fake.
But didn't that make it worse for you after that post went up and that happened to you?
It made it worse because there's a couple of people involved and one should know better.
Okay, yeah.
And that person should have said to the other person, well, hold on, you know, this is actually true, and they didn't. But let's go to Twitter. Do you use Twitter?
No.
I use Twitter.
Yeah.
I use Twitter, not as much as Facebook. But
it's a waste of time. I think Twitter's just a way. I think I don't understand people who need free platforms. Unless they're doing a business, yeah?
Oh, free platforms. I use free. I use them free.
Yeah, but you got Maximus and Alexa, you got Face. I mean, you've got.
I will convince you, probably by the next 5 minutes, to think about using Twitter.
Doubt it.
I probably can.
I guarantee you 20 quid you can't.
How do you communicate with businesses?
Okay. I don't do.
Don't use up all my time.
So regarding social media platforms, I don't have a person.
Let's do this very quickly.
Okay, so Twitter for business, I fully agree with.
Right, not business and personal business, but let's say you want to contact that's something we both can connect to, so like a power company that you're not happy with, and you want to communicate with them. How did you find that? Facebook. Was that easy?
Yeah.
They respond quick?
Yeah.
Now that's what I found on Twitter.
Ah.
I find Twitter, if you want to get in contact with somebody, you send them a message, you get a hell of a lot quicker response through Twitter than any other platform I've found.
Now, was that for a direct message or was that via your tweet?
Well, it's both, because if you tag them, they can pick it up or send a private message.
If you tag them on Facebook,
yeah.
They can.
But then I think tagging stuff on Facebook, it depends on how you want to keep your Facebook. I like to keep mine. You know, we had an option recently where we had quite a few subscribers come in. I had a few friends request and I sent them private messages. Sorry, I keep my Facebook private to my friends and family. We have a group for the YouTube if you wish to go join that. So for me to put out there another moan about another company is a public one, which is where you're going to get all your other comments of support or bad and good, or I've had this, I've had that. So next thing you know, you could have 1,000 comments on there.
So basically, you're telling me that you use Facebook for your public look, and then you use Twitter.
I do share the videos onto Twitter, and I do put the odd comment onto Twitter.
Okay.
Because I think it's Twitter, obviously you're limited to how much you can say and do and things like that, as well. Facebook you can waffle on. I'm guilty of that. So Twitter you've got a limited amount. The only thing is because you can't always explain yourself properly on Twitter. It's one thing I don't like Twitter is having this limit to how many you can say on there.
I wouldn't know.
Because
a limit to what you can say, is it?
Like you got, say, like 200 characters.
Okay.
So once you got to that, you can't type anymore. Unless you carry it on as a threat.
So wait up. You just told me that it's better to use Twitter because you can contact a business quicker, but you can only say certain things. You've only got 200 letters.
In a private message, you could probably do more.
Oh, you could do that on Facebook though.
Yeah, but like I said, it depends.
But you said 5 minutes to convince me. It's not done yet.
No. But you can use it not just for companies. You can use it to follow. I know it's pretty much the same as the Facebook. You know, perhaps your favourite stars. But if you want to keep things separate, if you want to keep, say, like your photos of your personal life, and your personal can go on Facebook. If you want to, say, follow all your movie stars, your wrestling stars, all your pop stars onto Twitter, so you can separate.
But you could also do that on Facebook.
You can do that on Facebook. You can have it a whole lot on Twitter as well.
Yeah. So what I don't understand is why. I mean, you just told me why you do, and that's fine. But I just don't understand why people need.
You can reach different audiences. You can reach different audiences.
But so for me, Facebook is to communicate with friends and family, and if I want to build an audience, that would be for business. So I understand why business would need to have Facebook and Twitter, because some people might not be on Facebook, some people be on Twitter and not Facebook, or Facebook and not Twitter. So for business, it's good to have everything for business, because they need to reach out to people. But
well, let's face it, a lot of people don't even want any of them.
No, and it's good. Yeah,
it's their, it's absolutely fine. You know, it's their choice, and no one has to have any social media in the day. We all lived with it before and lived it without before. But again, having this opportunity to be able to reach out, as I say, to me, Facebook's a lot more personal. And Twitter, I do share the videos, but I do the odd tweet here and there. Majority perhaps about our other stuff of investing on the, like what we do with the podcast.
Chit chat.
Yeah. But, and I flick through and see other people's comments. But for that, I think you can reach a variety in a different way. So yeah, Instagram, do you do Instagram?
No.
You don't do Instagram?
No, isn't that just the photo one?
It is the photo.
It's literally just photos.
Well, you can make comments and things, of course.
Yeah, but you're just asking for trouble, aren't you?
Why?
You're posting a photo, you're saying, judge me, come on, I'll send you a photo, please judge me. And
why
then,
are you saying judge me? If we're sitting here right now, okay, we're sitting there, you've got a lovely, nice setup now. And I took a lovely, let's take a little picture of the old candles there, and I uploaded it to my Instagram.
oh,
And
sorry, wait there, 1 second, I just remembered. Oh. I'll put the sausages in there in case you wanted some, and I forgot I left the oven on.
that's wow. We can have to cut that bit out.
Thank you.
Okay. So if I uploaded that photo onto Instagram, I can just do that. We can do a post, be nice little candles there. Do this and do that. As you're saying, you tag it in, candles. I won't worry too much. We just go okay. Right. Actually, it's not that. It's a hashtag, isn't it? Now, off it goes. Now, this is again under our Maximus and Lexter. You can find Instagram. So there we go. Your pictures is up there. Now, I think again it's reaching out to people in a different way of expression. Photos, you can't lie. You haven't got to have a rude opinion or a good opinion or a bad opinion. You can express yourself in a photographic way. So, sort of a lot of ours is, animals, flowers, wildlife, scenery.
Which can be done on Facebook.
It can be done on Facebook, but again, it depends, are you reaching out to the right people?
So
if you want to reach out to people who enjoy photography, yes, they're going to be on Facebook, but if you've got something more specific for that audience, you've got to go for that audience.
Yeah, and I fully agree. Talking as Maximus and Lexter, as a business, you need to be on every
business.
As a potential business, you need to be on all the platforms because your job is to seek an audience. Your job's to improve and increase and get the audience to a bigger level, which you've smashed it at already.
But it was you that said to me, we had the Maximus and Lexter group, which doesn't reach out very much, hasn't had much on it, but you said to me once, it's probably because it's a group, people don't like joining groups.
Yeah.
Have a page instead. Now I can't change, I've looked in the settings, I'm no whiz on there, to change the actual Maximus and Lexter to a group, to a public page. I can't find the settings.
You just have
and
to
I don't want to start again because there's so much on there. You've got like 4 or 5 years of history in there, and I don't want to spoil it. So, which is why I created the Matty's Media one to start afresh.
Okay.
Which was why I started mostly with the photos, and I was like, do I share some of the old Maximus and Lexter photo videos because I can upload it to direct video, which I did do a few. And I started doing something, I was thinking, should I be doing this or should I be concentrating in one direction with this? Should it be photos? Should it be videos? But am I duplicating with all the Maximus and Lexter?
Okay, so in that aspect, I think if you had a Maximus and Lexter page, you'd get a bigger audience because there'd be more people able to view it because no one goes onto Facebook and searches for the group unless they already know about you. So if you're trying to get out there but the fact of it is as a business, it's good to have every platform that you can get because you need to market yourself, you need to get out there, you need to get seen. But I don't think Bill down the road, there's no Bill down the road, I'm just saying, in case there is a Bill down my road, I'm not trying to be causing an event, but there's
the person down the road.
But say this Bill Blanks, he has a business, and you got Dave Blanks' brother, don't know who that is, but he doesn't have a business. But they both have free platforms. There's no need for free platforms for an individual because you're not, unless you're trying to seek. It's not like they have Maximus and Lexter and a business on the side. They are just an individual who just wants to share something to people to see what they're doing. So I don't understand why, as an individual, I don't have the need to have a Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. There's no need for that. I mean, I struggle to keep Facebook, but you mean needs are needs and whatever. And as a business, it's a great thing. As an individual, no need, in my opinion.
Well, I'm not needed then.
But you got Maximus and Lexter, and the thing is, like, you use your platforms to market what you do, and that's what's good about it.
Yeah, I can't ever see Maximus. We're one this up, don't we? We don't like go over this. As a business, to me, it's just for fun, and it always has been for fun. I can't ever see it being more than fun. Yes, it's very, very hard to get things recognition. There have been times when we've done things and we've it's gone really well and it hasn't reached out very much at all. It is hard and you do need more platforms, but I certainly don't do Instagram because of Maximus and Lexter. As I say, a lot of that is animals, flowers, sceneries. I don't like taking photos myself, and I've got into situation going back to the downside of it is like, I've heard ridiculous things of being said I'll cut something out of photos. I've never in my life even thought about cutting anything out of photos, and it put me off taking photos of people because it's not a competition on who I took a photo of. I've got photos of people more than other people in the opposite direction, and they're saying I've had more photos of them, and I haven't. It's driving me crazy. It's just saying, photography, photos I like to do because I find it quite relaxing, and I like to explore all the different angles and different things you can do, and find it very clever. It's like TVs, films. I'm not obsessed with them, but I think it's clever what you can come up with.
Yeah.
So, but okay, so we're back.
So you think that Facebook's a good thing?
I think that any of them are good. if you take it in a relaxed way and can't take everything too serious, you know, Facebook, as I say, for me, it's friends and family. I've never competition. I've say I've shared good times and now I've shared how I felt, deep and hurtful. But I don't know, you know, about yourself, but most people who generally know me know I am an open book. I don't hide anything. I don't intend to hide anything. I have no reason to hide anything. I don't believe in lying. I don't believe in gossip. So I'm not going to come to you. How have you ever known me to come to you and gossip about other people? Oh. So it's me. Facebook, and what I put on Facebook is me alone.
Yeah, and so I think social media, all three platforms are good for business. I think individuals should only have one because that's all what's needed. Instagram's dodgy because I think there should be an age limit to
I think with Instagram, we're doing it as a male perspective. There are a lot of females who perhaps feel they need to do a certain look and look a certain way.
This is where I was going to go.
But you know,
that's why I think that there should be an age limit because there are. I mean, I've got friends who their daughters on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and she's like, I think
it's not a competition how many friends you got. It's about how many true friends you got.
No, but she's only young and she's got this Instagram and she does the posting on these platforms, and my other half will show me these things. I think, my God, it's like that's just ridiculous. Why? Like she's like 12 years old trying to do a pose because she's seen a celebrity do it, and like there's dangerous people out there.
Try to booze.
So it's like it shouldn't be used. I think there should be an age limit on all social media. I don't think you should be able to just join up willy-nilly.
Do you know, I think the biggest problem with that sort of thing is there's so much money in social media. Like I said, Max was next to mass media, whatever, isn't about money for me, and it never has been. It's never crossed our mind. But there are people who feel that you can get on YouTube and just make money. You can just go on Instagram and become a model or a star or build things up for the future. And you might be able to build things up for the future, but never ever go onto these social medias thinking it's about money or you're better than somebody else or your opinions are the only ones that count. You know, every person's opinion counts whether you agree with it or not. They're entitled just as equal. No one's better than anybody else. So, you know, you've got to approach it as an equal flat platform for yourself and for everybody else.
I think there should be. If you're under the age of 16, you shouldn't be allowed. I
don't think you're allowed anyway. Actually.
Yeah.
I think that's all there.
No, you are allowed on it.
You're allowed, might be allowed. I can take a picture of someone who's younger. But
no, I mean you can have a profile. Because I know people who've got. As I said, you know, my other half.
Yeah. That's not the evolving.
She's got a friend who's got a daughter, and she's I think 12, and she has a profile.
Yeah, well, but I don't know all the rights and wrongs in terms.
No, that's my opinion. I just think it's wrong. It shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, so you don't need that at that age. Should be out having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Playing football.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll end this one here. But and say I think they are good, but you can't go in there thinking that everyone's moaning about you, or everyone's going to moan about things you post. You just got to take it with us. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. That to me is what social media is about. Sharing the good times, being there for the bad times as well. And at the end of the day, I always talk about communication. So for me, it is important for communication. And of course, sharing awareness.
Yeah, I think it's great for business. It's great for communication. And that's it.
And with that, see you, Mike.
Thank you very much.
See you,
bye.
Bye. No.